This is massive. We have XRP and Solana becoming interoperable. What does this mean for the crypto space, and what kind of benefits should we see between this partnership? We're going to dive into those stories and others. So sit back, relax. Let's go ahead and dive on in. Okay, so XRP and Solana becoming interoperable. This really is massive. This unlock that this will provide is going to bring the institutional adoption even closer than we are right now. When you have XRP and Solana working together, you have a underlying trusted asset for cross-border payments, which would be XRP. And then you also have a trusted settlement layer of Solana that's going to be moving the actual value at a cheaper, faster rate, bringing it that DeFi portion that we've needed on the XRP ledger. So these two partnering up makes a lot of sense when you think about it, especially when you think about things when Brad Garlinghouse has been saying for a while that the new financial system will be a multi-chain network. It will not be one. And when you understand what he's trying to say is they will be working together, not against each other. This is a unified goal to complete a new financial system to bring real world utility tokenization at a fast, cheap, trusted rate. And that's what you're seeing when you look at this XRP Solana teaming up. But let's go ahead and jump into some of these news stories. I think it's fascinating that it comes out at a time that we have all these events that are happening out in Abu Dhabi. And if you watch the channel, you know what I'm talking about. But there's a lot of stories going out right now when it comes to Abu Dhabi, and Breakpoint from Solana is another one of those stories that is happening December 11th through the 13th in 2025 that you'll see. Look on your screen here. This is Breakpoint. And as you see, December 11th through the 13th, 2025. And the speakers here at this event, I'm not going to go too much into it, but these speakers, you do have Ripple and you have all these major players when it comes to the crypto community out in Abu Dhabi at the same time that all the financial institutions that are out there like DTCC, BlackRock, Franklin Templeton, BNY Mellon, the list goes on. So you have all these billionaires and new crypto project CEOs all together out in Abu Dhabi talking about the new future together through these different events that are spread out. And the everyday retail investor may be looking at these as different stories, but they're not. They're all together coming out and releasing all this information. And that's why you're seeing a flood of information in the market right now in this week right here. So if you think it's a coincidence, it's not. I'm telling you, this has been planned. XRP Solana partnership has been planned. When you were in finance, not in finance, if you're in businesses, you understand that when you make a business deal or acquisition, this is a year-long or several year-long process. It's not a last-minute thing. So understand that this is something that they have planned for a while. It's the game plan, okay? Well, let's move in. They have actually been hinting at this for some time. If you've been paying attention, they've given us little insights. So if you're watching these insights and all these things happening from October 10th when the market crashed, you've had an awesome opportunity to buy these assets at a very low price, which is what the major whale investors have been doing because they have been following the stories and they know that's happening. So you could have been buying at the same time these major whales and investors had if you're paying attention, and I hope you've done so. But let's look at a post from Solana on X. This is something that they gave us a hint at. If you're in the XRP community, you saw this and you knew exactly what they meant. So right over here on December 8th, 2025 on their X account, they posted, why does this post have 67 million views? And all they posted was 589. So if you're in the XRP community, you know that's a little hint at XRP because there's people thinking that the XRP price is going to hit 589 this year or early next year because there's a lot of little hints and stuff people are out there putting out there. Whether if you believe that or not is not the situation here. The bigger thing is Solana has been nodding at the fact that they're looking at XRP and XRP has been looking at Solana. And also, if you look at it from Cointelegraph, they actually kind of explain a little bit more why this is important. So take a look on your screen as well. We have Insight. Ripple executive Luke Judges says the XRP ledger may need a faster, more pragmatic Solana-style execution and go-to-market strategy to stay competitive among layer one networks. So the reality is Solana does provide things that XRP does not have, and that might hurt some people out there that are true tribal XRP, but you have to understand XRP isn't going to be the front layer. They are the back end settlement layer. You're going to have a front layer to settle all that back end and help those two out. And that's what that partnership does. So don't get frustrated or upset that you might see Solana stepping in, or if you're a Solana maxi, that XRP stepping in. Understand this is a bridge together. It's not a divide and conquer situation. So hopefully you understand what's really happening with that. When we keep on going, we actually have another post from Loki. He kind of points out what the next step is, which is something I covered in my video about the stronghold, but we'll dive into that in just a second. But this is coming from Loki on X. We have XRP and RLUSD will route from XRPL and XRPL EVM to Solana through Axelar starting this December. Final ITS audit updates are underway. After that, the Axelar Solana integration should be ready to go. And this came from Solana originally, the big post that says on 11/20/25, again, another hint, something big is coming. So again, this is something they've been planning for a while and dropping hints for a while. And if you're paying attention, you're using Axelar, XRP, and Solana to make this happen. So they're giving hints throughout these partnerships, in my opinion, who you should be checking out to invest in. It's not financial advice, just go do your own research. We have Solana, XRP, and Axelar so far, but we're going to uncover some more projects that they kind of hint at who's going to be a part of this partnership, okay? So let's keep rolling. This is coming from Stronghold, and this is something I covered in this video here. If you want to go back and watch that one and go in more depth, I'm going to kind of touch on it right here, though. So this comes from Stronghold, and this came out on December 2nd, 2025. This is on the X account. Check it out. We have Go Vote 8, decide the next bridge. You help decide where we build next. Should Stronghold bridge SHX to Solana first or deepen our XRPL path? So it keeps going. It says, we're already delivered and integrations with XRPL in the past. Solana offers a fast-moving payments ecosystem and stronger developer momentum. So SHX gets this. They understand that they need both of them for their token to work, another payment system, right? So this is something we did cover, and I think that this should have given us another hint that XRP and Solana are teaming up together when you're seeing SHX come into the mix. And if you watch my SHX videos, which I have 4 of them out in the playlist, if you want to watch it, we break down SHX and how they're deeply rooted and tied to Ripple, XRP, and XRP Ledger. So this was no big surprise, and we should have saw that coming, right? Which, I didn't put the 2 and 2 together, that they would be merging XRP and Solana together. But this is huge. But let's keep going, and let's hear from King Solomon. He kind of breaks down what this would mean as well. And for all my UK folks out there, the EU, this is going to be something that you want to be aware of if you haven't heard of this yet. But let's go ahead and read what he had to say. So this comes from King Solomon on X. He says, Solana tweeted 589 today, but the real story is what's happening behind the scenes. Solana posted 589 and the internet exploded, but the timing lines up with Breakpoint in Abu Dhabi and Ripple X's global partner success lead being the Solana main stage. There is clearly real technical work for trials happening between XRP and Solana, even if people try to spin it as something else. More importantly, major policies dropped across the UK and EU that barely hit the radar. So before we move into the EU and UK story, so understand that this is something that is going to change the way the crypto market moves going forward. This is going to unlock so much more money, not just for the United States to enter, but this is unlocking cross-border global payments when them two are teamed up together. And now we're seeing at the same time, we're seeing all these different countries and nations finally switching over their policies and regulations to accept crypto and move forward with it. All the people that have been holding out for a while are slowly bending the knee to it because they cannot escape this. This is the plan, and it is coming, and it's actually here right now. But let's read on and see what we had to say about the UK and what's going on there, because this is massive. Because if you don't have the UK EU on board, that creates a friction when it comes to sending cross-border payments, right? Because we need them on board as well to make this happen. But let's keep reading on. He says, the UK's Financial Conduct Authority released a major discussion paper on the future of retail investing. It is not a crypto document, but a crypto sits at the center of it. They are looking at network risk models, stronger disclosures, cooling off periods, and how they regulate high volatility assets. This is a clear step towards pulling crypto into a fully regulated investment environment. Lloyd's Bank and tokenized deposits and AI could completely redesign the home buying process. Real estate is one of the largest asset classes on earth, and the largest mortgage provider in the UK is openly talking about putting the entire conveyancing process on blockchain. This is a major signal. So we've seen something like this before when we look out in the UAE, the United Emirates. They've already moved real estate on chain, and now we're seeing that we have the UK, EU doing the same thing. So they're slowly taking on this crypto projects, and they're slowly warming up to it, although they have been fighting back for a while. But they're seeing the benefit of it now, and I think they're kind of getting forced to do it, right? That's how it works. But let's keep going. And he states that the European Commission then released its next phase package, expanding the DLT pilot regime and preparing Europe for one unified crypto rulebook under ESMA. This placed DLT directly inside the future capital markets framework of the EU. SWIFT announced a blockchain ledger, and according to former senior leadership at SWIFT, XDC, another good one, this now puts them in the position of playing catch up to Ripple and others that have been building in this space for years. Today, Chief Policy Officer Rubin represented Hedera hbar at the Canadian Chamber of Commerce's 2025 B7 event focused on economic security and resilience. Hedera continues supporting the trusted digital infrastructure for stronger supply chains and competitive growth. Put all this together, you can see what's actually happening. Infrastructure, regulation, banks, and networks are all aligning around the same direction. The shift to digital capital markets is rapidly approaching. Whew, that was a lot, but breaking it down, we now have the world moving towards blockchain, and it's already adopted. They have all moved and switched over to this. We're just waiting for these policies to finally settle, in which we're seeing this happening. We're expecting the Clarity Act to move forward late December, going into January. EU, UK, around the world, everybody's setting their policies. Some already have the policies up and running and testing them out now. Also, I want to touch on the Hedera thing. So Hedera hbar is a security layer that I think you're going to see a lot of governments use. They have so much more use cases than just security layers. Hedera is an amazing project, but I think we're going to see some movement with Hedera, and I think we'll see more and more adoption of Hedera for security layers unfold as they're testing it out in Canada. But I want to point out, like, through these news stories, what I want you to really kind of put together and go do your own research on. And I do have videos on every single one of these, except for Axelar. I don't think I've ever gone and deep dive into them. But look at all these projects that are working together. We have XRP, Solana, SHX, hbar, and Axelar. That's 5 right there that they've given us hints that we'll be working together to make this system work. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed something in this video. And if you did, please leave a like, a comment, share with a friend, because I can get this video pushed out, the more motivation I get. So if you made it in 12 minutes, you must have liked it. So please hit the like button and make a comment down below. I would really much appreciate that. Before I let you go, as always, though, take care of yourself, take care of the people around you, and become that change you want to see. I'll see you on the next one.